So hi everyone, welcome. This is a special edition of the American Musar Community Gathering. We are not going to be doing Musar today. I was ordained as a rabbi from the
Yay.
Academy of Jewish Religion a couple of days ago. Yes,
Oh,
woohoo! Since we finished the seventh cycle last week, the timing was kind of perfect to just kind of get together for a little informal celebration, and people can maybe I know some people may have brought some readings, and I had a couple readings to share, and we'll just kind of see where we go.
good idea.
Yeah, Joanne.
And I wrote a little something on behalf of everyone, I guess.
Sure.
So, poem for Greg on his ordination. You have been our guide, our North Star on this journey of self-discovery. We so appreciate your listening with an open heart to our stories. Now that you are being ordained as a rabbi, we congratulate you on this milestone and wish you all the best in the future. Continue to hold us in your heart and help us become the best people we can be. Mazel tov from your Musar students.
Mazel tov, mazel
Thank you,
tov.
Mazel
Joanne.
tov,
Oh, I'm
Simen
really,
Tov, Mazel
Top right.
yes. Thank you.
huge.
That's so beautiful.
Top.
Did any of you get to watch the ordination?
I tried 3 different times and there was a problem with, I don't think it was my computer because they kept flipping us to different Zoom letters and we couldn't hear. I watched the choir sing.
It wasn't yours. It took a long time to get on, but I watched. I thought it was great. I'm like a mom watching my kid, it's the same thing. It was quite long, but worthwhile. And I know Greg said he had to write something for 10 minutes, like a 10-minute talk. And then I guess it was somewhere in the middle. It seemed like the end. And then all of a sudden they came up to talk to us. I said, oh, that's so good. But it was so sad. And some of them had some pretty sad stories. Melissa, it was her Shellashim for her mom. I was just like, I'm melting. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, oh, I wanted to be there for her mom, just that moment. Now, as you said, it was 5 years, Greg. I'm even sadder. Thanks for that. But they had quite a story. Some people had a long way to go. It was exciting. Exciting. And of course, Greg, he was like beaming. It was like the star of the show to me. I've never seen so many rabbis and so many cantors and so many on a stage at one time before.
Yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't hear the Cantor's choir.
I could not. I watched them up and I came on 3 different times. So obviously I should have come on again. Will you check Rabbi Greg and find out if it's been recorded?
I did ask. I sent an email in asking about that. They said it would be recorded. What kind of happened? But I think my daughter may have a recording of my ordination speech. She sent me the recording of kind of when I went up and got the blessing, which I shared on my Facebook page. But so if I can get the ordination recording, I'll either share the link or I'll just download it and upload it to the YouTube channel.
And then they had a 91-year-old, it was 91, I think. So there was a birthday celebration right in the middle. It was fun. It was like a big celebration.
Yeah, that was Rabbi Eli Shochet, who he was ordained at the Jewish Theological Seminary as a conservative rabbi. And he's written several books about Talmud, and he was a Talmud teacher. And among other things, Abraham Joshua Heschel was one of his professors, and they used to get together for coffee every week. So
this is not a young man.
One of my favorites.
No, it was his
90th
birthday was the day of ordination, and I
full of life, and could tell he's just going to be teaching forever. And Greg, just to say that the top it said recording the whole time, so whoever was doing the meeting, I think it is recorded. You know how ours says recording at the top.
Yeah. but whether there's, I mean, whether there's sound or not, I don't know. We'll see. They certainly will just see what happens.
Here's my poem. It's not quite done, but I can read. I can read a little bit, but I got interrupted. Where are you? Are you there? Should I wonder? Wander? I am here at the edge of the sea, listening to waves crash upon the shore, breathing in the salty air, feeling the sun everywhere. Are you here? Still, I wonder, still wander. And then it just doesn't finish, but there's pages and pages that it will be finished. It's sometimes they're not very, it takes a while. So you don't know the end of it yet, but it's based on Psalms. So,
well, I love it so far.
Yeah, it does have a point to the end, but
yeah.
So Rabbi Greg, are you finished, Wendy?
No, I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
Psalm 1 and Psalm 91 are my favorite Psalms. And I know, Greg, you've said Psalm 1 before, but happy is the man who has not followed the counsel of the wicked, or taken the path of sinners, or joined the company of the insolent. Rather, the teaching of the Lord is his delight, and he studies that teaching day and night. He's like a tree planted beside streams of water, which yield its fruit in season, whose foliage never fades, and whatever it produces thrives. And I think, Greg, what you're producing is this Musar group. Is this whole thing that we have just become closer to knowing the divine and having the divine be part of our lives. And you're to be thanked for that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Stephanie, sit down now.
We've all contributed to that, and we nurture one another.
Well, I'm just going to read what I have here. First of all, congratulations, Rabbi Greg. We can call you Rabbi now, right?
You may call me Rabbi, yes, you wish. It's not required, but you certainly may.
Thank you for being a wonderful teacher of Musar. I'm learning a lot, as well as getting in touch with my Jewish roots. You have always listened with an open heart. This has made me feel comfortable here, and also in creating a supportive community. I know you'll be a great rabbi. I wanted to share this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. I thought it was in harmony with this Musar teaching and this special celebration. And I'm going to turn around real quick. So I'm going to just put it in front of the screen here. I don't know if everyone can see it. Maybe pin myself here.
We can see it, but it'd probably be easier if you read it.
Okay. It says, and this is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well.
Amen.
Amen. It was lovely.
Congratulations. Mazel tov.
So how was it for you, Greg?
How was it for me?
The experience, yeah.
It was really amazing. We had a bunch of people from my Havara who, when they heard about the ordination, they said, "Oh, we want to come." So they came down to LA, and my cousin and her partner came in, and my two daughters, my daughter's partner were there, and my wife, of course. And so we all rented a big house together. And my cousin's daughter lives down in LA, and so I hadn't seen her since she was about 12, and she's 32 now, so she was there, and we had a really nice dinner afterwards. But it was just a lot of fun. It was, there were 13 of us, 2 master's students, 4 cantors, and 7 rabbis, and I'm particularly close with 3 of them.
Wonderful.
And we all, we sat through the 2-hour rehearsal and, a lot of joking around. And when do we take the robes off? But it was very powerful to kind of be up there. And I got one of the rabbis who also happens to be my advisor, Rabbi Rochelle Robbins, she kind of put her hands on my head and, we had our heads very close
Blessed you.
together, and she said the priestly blessing and then said kind of a private blessing for me, which was
Oh,
very,
nice.
very nice and on point. And it was,
Beautiful.
and then the actually conferring of ordination, or the Hebrew word is smicha, that's done by what's called a Beit Din, which is a court of at least 3 rabbis. So we did that kind of as a group, like after individual blessings, we all kind of stood and waited. And when all 7 of us were done, then the Beit Din asked us, 3 questions, which I don't really remember, but it was like, are you willing to take on the responsibility of teaching Torah and that sort of thing? And we all said yes. And then they conferred ordination, and we all walked off the stage and started kind of clapping and dancing, and the whole, like, it was really a very nice
Wonderful.
experience. And so maybe this is a good time. I'll read to you what I wrote. I didn't quite get the let's see, where is it? I didn't get the blog post finished, but I'll finish it up in the next day or 2, and I'll probably send it around on Monday.
I have to tell you guys that when they were asking the questions, the rabbi asked the first question, and the candidates just stood there, and Greg led the way with the answer. I'm like, he's so excited. He really wants this. And it was really wonderful to see him. He was kind of the leader, I think, took leadership in that particular group.
Greg, what was the age range and the sex? Just curious.
The age range was probably 32, was probably the youngest, and the oldest was 70.
Wow.
There was one person who uses they them pronouns, and who's doesn't have a binary definition. One person was a trans woman. There was myself as a cis male, and there were 3, 4 cis women. And the cantors were all women, were all cis women.
What does cis stand for?
It's kind of, it means that your gender assigned at birth is the same as your kind of gender identity. So it's also, it means kind of the same. Your gender matches your biology.
Sort of reminds me of a science term, cis and trans, or some bonds or something.
It's the same. It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes from chemistry. Yeah.
Thank you. Lessons in
Yes, also used in genetics for cis and trans mutations. So,
it's the scientist in me.
okay, so I found the thing. So, when I finished my PhD, I felt a great sense of accomplishment. I remember clearly thinking, no matter what happens, no one can take this away from me. I put a lot of work in and earned that degree. And I felt the same way at the evening of my ordination. But by the next morning, something amazing emerged. While my PhD was an individual accomplishment, becoming a rabbi was a group accomplishment, a community accomplishment. I wrote the following first thing in the morning, which has only been slightly edited here. I felt like a tree with my roots deeply embedded with my wife, Rachel. Not just roots, vines, veins and arteries, and too many capillaries to count. She supported me through the day with such deep love. The toast she gave about me was special. She described someone who loves family and community, someone who is dedicated to their well-being and also dedicated to making the world a better place. And that someone was me. And I felt and believed it. And my kids and cousins and friends who traveled to be there, the cheer everyone gave me was so filled with love. It felt wonderful, and I felt a very great peace in my body taking it in, not an ounce of discomfort. And I feel deeply embedded with them, roots and rhizobium going back and forth. It was what Martin Buber would call, it was what Martin Buber would agree was a true I vow moment. There was not an ounce of individuality. We were all in the moment, just souls together. And I shared the ordination with 12 other people, 3 of whom I am particularly close with. It was a group accomplishment. We went through this together, the classes, the thesis, the ordination. We were in the here with each other and for each other. And when we went back to our seats after the Beit Din conferred ordination on all of us, we laughed and danced and cheered right along with the hundreds of people who were there to support us. It was a true moment of communitas. I feel floated and sustained by our Jewish community, and I sense the neshamas, the souls of the disconnected among us. Each one has a life beacon, calling for help and yearning to plug into the network. It is like the tiny people of Whoville, all crying loudly together, "We're here, we're here, we're here." At breakfast, after I wrote the above paragraphs, I could literally feel lines of connection to the people around me. Alas, like all experiences of I vow or communitas, it was transitory. By the end of the day, my normal perceptions of the world returned, yet the memory of that connection is strong. Such experiences are rare and a great gift.
Lovely.
That's beautiful. Amazing.
It was incredible. It really was. And I really did sort of just remember sitting at breakfast and like seeing the lines going out to everyone around me. It was
Wow.
it's amazing.
Right.
So the synagogue, you were at Adat Ariel, yes?
Yes.
So when I was doing my postgraduate work at the University of Judaism in LA in the early 80s, that's the synagogue that I went to some of the time. But I think they redid the sanctuary because it was stunning.
Yes, it was new. It's newly renovated.
Yeah.
Yes. Harry, did you have a question or want to say something?
Yes, I was Mazel Tov, Rabbi Greg.
Thank you.
I was able to watch the ceremony. As a matter of fact, the Zoom was difficult, but they did post a website, and I was able to get onto the AJR website itself, so it was pretty clear.
Oh,
So
good.
I guess other people may not have seen that.
No, I didn't.
But what's interesting is, when we come and do the Zoom with you, we only see 1/3 of you.
Ah.
So I was really surprised to see the rest of you. And you're pretty tall. So just tell everybody how tall you are. They may not.
I am 6 feet tall.
6 feet. So yeah, so I was wow, So anyway, it was really nice. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing, but it was a very nice ceremony from what I watched. And there was one rabbi that was very young. He looked like he was in his 20s, or now maybe that was the one that was 30. He was a short guy, and I don't know his name, but I was sort of surprised that you had someone that young. Do you know who I'm talking about? He was sort of slight, 30, very, very.
Did they talk about a moment of silence? Did they go right before me?
Yeah, they were before you. I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
yeah, that was Chell, who's 32.
yeah. Well, and the next question is, do you know what's next? Where you go from here, or?
Well, my wife and I are taking a visit to Paris for 2.5 weeks, and I'm going to be setting up as an independent and unaffiliated rabbi. And I'll keep my eyes open on the job market. We're not going to move from where we are, and there's a number of different things I could focus on. But that's kind of we're not going to do a lot of tourist things. We're just going to kind of, my wife calls it a beach vacation in Paris. So we're just going to kind of sit and hang out and relax as
Have you
much
ever
as I
been
can in
before?
Paris. And then I'll see kind of what moves me and where I want to put my energies.
Okay. All the best, and hopefully you're going to continue with our little group.
We
Oh,
hope so.
absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
good.
I haven't decided when we'll resume, whether it'll be in July or August, but definitely we'll start again. Randy, I think I saw your hand and then we'll hear from Karen.
Sure. It's so great to see you, Rabbi Greg. I haven't been part of this group, though I faithfully read the emails. Greg and I work together in spiritual coaching over 4 years ago. And so it was the very beginning of your rabbinic journey. And when I saw your email about the ordination, I just had to pop on to say Mazel Tov and Yasher Koach. And the work we did together continues to be of support and service to me. So thank you, but really wanted to just wish you well personally. And I thought you were a rabbi the whole time we were working together. So you certainly earned it and then some, because you certainly played the role very well.
Well, thank you so much, Randy. And it means a lot to me that you kind of stopped by today. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Wishing you the best, of course. Mazel tov.
Thank you. Karen.
So I thought I would share the few words that I wrote to you with our group. And they seem even more appropriate now that you have shared your decision to sit back and see where the role takes you. So my words are this: however your journey manifests from this new milestone, I am sure it will further enhance your sense of purpose, bringing you new insights and joys as you continue finding ways to do the same for others, which is something that I have come to know about you through studying the Musar group. And as I've heard it said at other times at a rabbinic ordination or graduation from cantorial school or in some other position of Jewish higher level teaching, that not only are we proud to have you as a new leader in the Jewish world, but the way you teach here and want to embrace and bring in the rest of the world without actively trying to convert makes you an asset as a leader to not just the Jewish world, but the entire world, wherever you are, and with whomever you meet. So Mazel Tov, and congratulations on this fabulous simcha.
Thank you, Karen. I will say this is sort of part of my Musar journey as well. I have not always been able to kind of hear praise and hear people saying nice things about me, but I'm really doing okay with it now. So, and that's progress for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah, Paul.
So, I think what Karen said sort of inspired me to speak up, because I'm one of the few, anyway, non-Jewish people that are in this group here. And I remember when Carrie first was taking part in these, and I kind of have my own life that I'd walk back and forth and hear snippets of things that sounded really interesting, and it sounded as a, somebody who is, I guess, Jewish adjacent in some way. I mean, I've been with Carrie for over 20 years and learned a lot from her and had other Jewish friends as well. So it's not been strange to me, but just it was, there were so many conversations and comments that I heard that for me crossed over into my world as well, in terms of it was not just about knowing Jewish history, is really about knowing oneself within this framework of Musar, and I really appreciated that. So I remember stopping a couple of times, sitting in for a couple of meetings, and I thought, what, I'm just gonna, if it's okay with Carrie, I'd like to be here, the whole time.
Well, I'm so glad you jumped in. And yeah, I remember, I think Carrie said, my husband's been kind of lurking off camera. And he'd like to join, and please.
Yeah. So it's been really wonderful to see how your spirit has moved this group, in many ways, and helped us to really consider all of these different questions about ourselves, about our world, our relationship to each other, our relationship to the larger world within this context. And it's just been tremendous to see, both with Carrie and me, and then also with others as well. It's been great to have these friendships develop within this context. So I really, really appreciate everything that you've done, and I'm sure that you will carry on, as you say, with us, but then beyond us as well, I'm sure. And I think people are very lucky to have you in their lives.
Thank you.
I have a poem I'd like to share with you, if that's okay.
Sure.
I had started to save a bunch of snippets from newsletters and things I was going to share, but I think this sums it up. It's by Mary Oliver, and it's The Journey. And it's a little morbid. Well, no, it's not morbid. Never mind. I'm just going to read it. The Journey. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried. But you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do, though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible. It was already late enough and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. By Mary Oliver.
Beautiful.
And I have, since the beginning, knowing your story just always inspired me to listen to our hearts and take the plunges, dare to do what's best for us and our purpose. So thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. So wonderful to have you part of the community.
Greg,
I've shared. Go ahead.
There's something else I've shared with many of the unique people I've met in my life is the phrase, just keep doing you, because nobody can do it better. And for the short time that I've known you, Greg, what you do as you has really helped me to be a better person. And I've made positive improvements in my life as a result of my relationship with you and this group. So just keep being you.
Thank you, Karen. So I saw Marianne had her hand up, and I may start crying if we keep going. I'm just, Marianne and then Chaya.
Yeah, I wanted to say, Greg, of course, congratulations.
And I think you're a very special person, a very special person. And I want you to know that I haven't really found a synagogue, and this is my Jewish community. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Marianne. I'm so glad you've been part of this group. So we'll hear from Chaya and then Bonnie.
Okay, first of all, I'm on my phone because my computer just died when at the beginning here. So can you hear me and everything?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. I just want to say, not knowing what today was, I'm just so excited for you that it's something that's been in the background of where I'm coming from, what I always wanted to do, but never felt like I could. And it's so nice to see someone who has pursued and followed through. I'm thinking about it. It reminds me a little bit of the first time I became the first woman shamus up in Duluth, Minnesota. And there was just a certain, like, I can serve my people now with what I can do and what I'm allowed to do. And, you have been serving the people all this time. This is nothing new, but it's just, you have this next step that you took. And I think it's so awesome that, I don't know how old you are. Can I ask you?
I'm 57.
Okay, so you're still young.
Yeah.
But I think that your undertaking and, your conclusion and following through all this is to be well, applauded. And, all I can say is my heart is filled with knowing you and now knowing Rabbi Greg.
Thank you, Chaya. Bonnie.
So, Yasher Koach, to do this, I believe you shared with us that this is your third career.
Yes, third or fourth, depending on how you count.
I think that you have been an incredible role model for me, and I hope for others to see that you can do and change and do and change and be true to yourself. And I hope that when you said that you're unaffiliated with any of the movements and are not leaving the area, that we at Beth Am and the Northern California community have the opportunity to work with you in other areas. I'm hoping that you are, and what I'm hearing is that the plan is that we are staying with you. I don't think any of us are going to let you go, but I hope that you will be doing some teaching in the community, whether it's through the Learning Works or the other synagogues. But I think that this community is very blessed to have you, Northern California. And I'm thrilled that 3.5 years ago, saw it on the Beth Am Shabbat Bulletin and came in. Thank you again.
Sure. And yeah, adult education is one of the things I love to do. And so, yeah, looking for teaching gigs. I'm teaching an online course starting in November, which I'll let all of you know about on Team Chesed, which was my thesis topic. So that will be there. So we have Nancy and then Toby.
Yes, well, I would like to add my congratulations and love and blessings to you. You have offered so much, and I've been here since the beginning. I've been quiet a lot of times, but you've really put a light in my heart, and I just want to read a little something. Celebrate the person, Rabbi Greg, you've grown to be today, with all your strengths and struggles in your own unique way. For every path is different and every journey is new. And in the art of self-love, which you have taught us, you'll find a clearer view. Don't measure by another, which you have shown that we are all unique, what you should strive to be. for in your own reflection is where you'll find the key. And this key now is your new life.
I love that. Thank you so much, Nancy. Did you write that?
I can't take the, I don't know really who did, but it just resonated with me. And I just want to bless you and everybody in this group.
Thank you so much. Hey, Toby.
Thank you, Greg, and congratulations, Yasha Koach. I get the idea of having several careers, been there, done that. So I know how hard it is to start again once you're enmeshed in one set of ideals, and then to move along to something that you know is better for you. So congratulations on that. And I'm very grateful to have found this group and to have found you. I read your book before I joined the group. I think I don't remember where I heard about it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm grateful to you as an excellent facilitator, someone who listens with an open heart and helps to guide us to be our best selves and to look and really examine what we're doing. And I love the idea of this group and the breakout sessions, which I've studied Musar since early 2020. And this is the only group that does the breakout sessions. And I want to thank you for that, because I've met so many wonderful, just treasures, people who I can't even, I don't have words. The people are amazing, and your guidance is amazing. And I hope that you're, selfishly, I hope that you are going to continue this work as well as whatever other work you decide to do. Thank you.
Absolutely. No matter what, whether I get a part-time job, a full-time job, or I'm all freelance, I'm definitely continuing with this group. I've said it before, and I really do think that, like, the breakout groups are sort of the secret sauce of our time together, because it really gives everybody a chance to be seen and heard and to speak privately, and to really get to know people. And over time, you get to know a lot of folks. Karen.
So I was thinking about how this group has really become, over the last couple of years, my online Musar family. And I've never had a rabbi in the family before. So welcome to the family. Thank you, Dr. Lars and Rabbi, for my online Musar family.
Well, thank you. I'm the first rabbi in my mother's family, my father's family, and now this family. So can't have too many families.
What happened?
Hiya, yes.
Yeah, I would like to give you a blessing, that one that I really like. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
May the blessing of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide in you. May God's blessing illuminate your heart now and forevermore.
Thank you so much. Amen. May it be so. Well, I had one other thing I wanted to read. And those of you who've been here from the beginning, or who've been here for a number of years, you'll remember our friend Carol Emmerich, who was really, I thought, like the heart and soul of the group in a lot of ways. She was a beautiful person. She died of cancer, I think, in 2022, so about 2 years ago. And we were all here when she said she got, she had was a cancer survivor. And then so I got some bad news, and we saw her getting sicker. And she was the first person I visited in the hospital in a capacity as a rabbi. And it was during COVID, and the hospital wasn't letting anybody in to kind of visit anybody. And so I wore my tallis, and I had a yarmulke, which I normally don't wear, and really, I was carrying a prayer book so they could let me in, and they did. And she had a great sense of humor too. And I said to her, I was like, well, Carol, you're the first person I visited, like visiting a Bikor Hulim, visiting the sick visit. And you never forget your first. And she got a huge laugh out of that. So she was an artist, she was a poet, she loved horses, and she wrote a poem, the last poem she wrote, which I think we read together when we were remembering her after she died. And I want to read that again today. I don't know if it's on theme or not, but I just really wanted to feel Carol's presence with us as well. It's called I Am Already Gone. So she wrote this maybe 2 or 3 weeks before she died. Oh, dear ones of mine, look at all those places that loved me, that I loved so well. See, I am already gone. Gone from backs of generous horses, so powerful yet gentle. Gone from the stages where I sang. Gone from my guitars, gone from the faces of wildflowers. Lining springtime around Garrett's pond. Gone from angelfish my blue. Air-filled kayak, and from easy lakes I paddled, sometimes in company, more often alone on gentle blue-green water. Gone from Stevens Creek Reservoir, gone from the dancing creek that sings from the high canyon down through McClellan Park, gone from that old rotting stump where so often I sat on dappled sunlit days. The stump deeply eroded now, when last I saw but a ghost, a slim reminder of a proud tree it once was. Gone am I too from the wild rolling Pacific, swirled in fog, alive with seabirds, proud mist dance dark on wind. I'm gone even from my kitchen, where during the 2 years of COVID isolation, I learned to fashion culinary delights, noodles made from semolina flour, ravioli stuffed with herbs, cheeses, vegetables. I fashioned sourdough bread, wondrous in my novice hands, learned to make pizza crusts I topped with savory wonders, fluffy biscuits, scones, pie crusts filled with sweet fruit, savory mushrooms, leeks. Gone am I from the medleys of spices, herbs, garden-growing sage and basil, for I cannot tend them anymore. I am not gone from your hearts, nor you from mine. You have made that clear, my loves, and for that I fill with joy and gratitude. But in all those places away, so loving and beloved, I am already gone. Remember me and love them as I loved them, as they loved me. Let them love you too. Now I have only my words, and soon they will burst away into the wild. Ashes sparkles in the western breeze. From everywhere else now, I am gone. And so we're all still here. We remember blessing of Carol's memory.
I was going to add something about you, Greg, that you gave Carol a cat, not a real one, that she cherished. And you might want to say something about that, but that cat was with her. Was it an electronic cat, or I forget.
It's some kind of electronic cat, and it was very like furry, and it would purr, and it would blink, and it would move its head, and she loved cats, and since she had gotten cancer, she couldn't have them anymore. And she talked in here often about how she missed cats. So I just learned about these things. My in-laws had one. So I bought one from her for her and sent it to her, and she brought it to the hospital with her and
Yes.
kept it and really had.
Yes.
Nice.
And I know you and Alan visited her in the hospital and sang to her.
Yeah, I asked her, like, I had to sign her will because I'm not related and I wasn't a beneficiary, and I asked her to leave me her voice.
I remember that. I remember you sharing that with us, Janet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think all that we've shared and all that, you know, you've given to me and that we've built as a group, she was very much a part of that. And I know she would be very excited and enthusiastic if she were here today. And she loved horses, and she often had horses as her background image.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel so lucky. I was brand new to the group, and she was in my breakout room. And I just really enjoyed so much the conversation I had with her. And I told her how much I loved seeing the horses in the back of her. So thank you for talking about her, because I have often thought of her, and I loved that poem you read.
Yeah, Joanne.
So I feel like she's here in spirit because she would be, you know, and you read her words, and she was very meaningful to me also. In fact, the last thing I did is I think I sent her a card that had horses on it. And I don't know if she ever saw it or not, but thought it was there. But it just reminded me. So here's you know, that I think you thought of her also, because I think her presence is in our hearts and her memory. And maybe she's looking down, taking it all in. I'll tell you this weird thing that happened to me a couple of days ago. It was Saturday night, actually. I was coming home because I go to Mincha Mari because I try to say Mincha at home. But on Shabbos we have, you know, Seder Shlishi, and people ask the rabbi questions, and it's nice. And I'm walking home, and I always feel like I feel protected. You know, I feel like God's protection around me. And for some strange, very strange reason, it popped into my head. You know, I was going to sing Adon Olam to myself on the way home, to do it to the tune of Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which is like ridiculous, but it was fun. And then the next day, I read that the guy who wrote that song had passed away.
Just passed away.
Had just passed away.
Wow.
Yeah. So I felt like I got a message, you know?
Yeah.
Because
the amazing thing about Adon Olam is you can sing any tune.
I know. I've heard the saints go marching in, and
we did it for all the Chagim.
Yeah. So wow, that's a connection.
A connection there. And I don't know, I almost feel like I wish we would meditate together, because I love that part of our group. I don't know how you feel or anybody else.
We can close with a meditation when we're done. I also have Mr. Finn with me, who's the older cat, who's 14. And he's been a part of this group, and his brother, who died a couple years ago, was part of it too, Mr. Huck. So, and he's purring up a storm, so he's clearly happy here.
He's happy for you.
Well, would anyone else care to share something or make a comment? Sarah.
Hi, I came in, I guess, after that person was gone, in a pretty tough part of my life. It's been pretty tough. but it's just been so wonderful to be here. And like other people have shared, I've learned about Judaism. I grew up Jewish, but I didn't really have a lot of education, except for like maybe through my kids' preschool and bar and bat mitzvah, and just more the cultural aspects. And I really have so enjoyed the principles of Musar and how it, for me, it fits in with recovery, which is a very important part, of my life. And everybody's just been so warm and welcoming, and I'm so happy I'm at a much better place now, and it's just so wonderful to have seen you, Greg, go through this journey, and known you for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, or I don't know how long I've been coming, but maybe Bonnie, I don't know. But it's just been really, really enjoyable getting to know everybody, and very, very meaningful for me as well. Very important part of my spiritual path. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
And I do have to say, kind of following on that, Sarah, that I think groups follow the example set by their leader. And that's why I think people are welcoming to each other, because Greg models that for us. So.
Yeah.
I agree.
Leadership.
But like I said in my poem, also just accepting us as we are.
And that's,
That's a
I
great
think,
thing.
that's something important to me, that you can say whatever you want, but what you do is what really counts. And it all counts. We step in the doo-doo plenty of times, it doesn't mean that doesn't count, but we don't have to live in it either. We scrape it off and we do our best to make it right. We move on, but we try to model and to be, and all of you in your lives, have that opportunity as well. And I know that many of you have shared how you've done that and adopted that and worked on that. And that's what's important to me. I love a good intellectual discussion, and I love a good Torah text study, but it's really about doing better personally. Yes, Wendy.
This might seem strange, but just ever since your ordination, I've been thinking about your parents, your mom and dad. Often when I get to know somebody and I really love them, I feel like I know their parents, because that person is a legacy of their parents. And I just feel a lot of gratitude toward your parents for giving us you. And God gave us you too. And you're just a gift. You're just a gift. And so thanks to your parents. And it's wonderful to be a parent and to watch an ordination like that, knowing how many parents out there are just having a moment of gratitude for their child.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I'm thinking it's maybe time to do a little meditation. What do we think? Are we ready for that?
I am.
All right. So let's all relax. Close our eyes. And take in a nice leisurely breath. And a nice leisurely exhale. Just go at your own speed of a leisurely inhale and a leisurely exhale. Now, allow yourself to connect with others in this community. Let the boundaries of time and space just fall away. Feel the connection to the other souls. And listen deeply. We're here, we're here, we're here. We are all here, fully present with one another. We're here, we're here, we're here. Look within and see the light of your divine spark. It is here. It is a connection. Something greater. It connects all of us. Now open your heart further to your family, and your friends and community. And listen. We're here, we're here, we're here. Feel the web of the great tree of life, connecting all of us to all of them. And then to their friends and family, our acquaintances and co-workers, the people we pass on the street. We're here, we're here, we're here. Deepen your breath. And wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Well, thank you, my friends. I'll be sending out an email on Sunday with when I finish the blog post. And I will be in touch, and at some point over the summer, we will begin to meet again.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Rabbi Greg.
Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Lisa.
Well,
I have to say, it doesn't get old to hear this.
Rabbi Greg, Rabbi Greg.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you so much.
Have a good vacation too.
Yeah.
All right.
Enjoy. Yeah.